Hello everyone! Cinema Recap here, and today we're going to be talking about a science fiction film called The Machine. Make sure to press like and subscribe if you enjoy my video. In the near future, a Cold War with China has forced the West into developing sophisticated artificial intelligence and creating super soldiers. Vincent is the head scientist of AI research in Britain, and he experiments his new technology by implanting a microchip in a brain-dead soldier, Dawson. Although it's capable of restoring normal mental functions to the person, it seems to have failed to restore their memories and grant them any empathy. Disappointed at the results, Vincent plans to throw away the project and denies Dawson's request for seeing his mother. The soldier attacks the scientist, stabbing Vincent in the neck and killing the assistant before apologizing and getting shot in the head. After recovering from the attack, Vincent continues to develop his research by interviewing individuals who has created their own versions of artificial intelligence. He's disappointed continuously, as their creations are not even close to passing the Turing test. As he leaves the facility, he sees Dawson's mother waiting outside, wanting to know what happened to her son. Vincent goes home to his daughter, who has a neurological disorder that renders her incapable of normal functioning. He feels helpless as he cares for his daughter and kisses her repeatedly. In one of his interviews, Vincent meets a woman named Ava, who developed her A by interaction and experience rather than coding. He's surprised when it showed apparent thoughts of its own, rather than regurgitating predictable patterns. Impressed with what she created, Vincent offers Ava the job immediately. The next day, as she goes to work, Ava meets Dawson's mother in the outskirts. The woman becomes aggressive when Ava denies knowing what happened to her son, which results in both of them getting arrested. Vincent helps her out of the situation, but lies to Ava about Dawson, stating that he died a long time ago and that the mother is deranged. He shows her the facility and his research, which manages to successfully help many soldiers with brain trauma to regain their functions. But the brain implants appears to have some side effects as it eventually takes away their ability for speech. At the same time, the leader of the augmented soldiers, Suri, begins planning a revolution against the researchers. She finds a traitor amongst her comrades and burns him alive. As Ava walks to the underground research lab, she can't help but notice the soldiers looking at her strangely and smelling gasoline in the facility. They meet the director of the project, Thompson, who's not very fond of Ava's political stance about the Cold War against China. However, Vincent assures Thompson that they need Ava in order to be successful in completing their current project. The director introduces Ava to their new research as they install a human-like prosthetic onto a soldier with no arms. This grants him incredible strength and great control at the same time. The soldier wants to hold Ava's hand, to which she agrees at Vincent's disapproval. He grabs her and takes her dancing, while secretly telling her to help him in Area 6 of the facility. His action didn't cause any suspicion, and the director tells them to get to work as they're only missing a bring for their super soldier project. Vincent begins copying Ava's bring and asking her a series of questions in order to decode her personality. During their experiments, Ava inquires his mentor about the purpose of Section 6. Looking surprised, Vincent tells her that it's full of disabled soldiers, and because of this program, they're improving the quality of the soldiers' lives. But his answer doesn't satisfy her, as it doesn't explain why the soldier would be asking for help. Ava takes the opportunity when Vincent is not looking to examine the facility and attempts to find the truth. She sneaks into the restricted area and, to her shock, finds a prison-like structure full of disabled soldiers. The guards find her looking at the restricted facility, but did nothing to stop her while their leader Suri watches from the security cameras. Vincent finds out about what Ava did and yells at her to stop before she gets in trouble, but Ava is clearly unsatisfied until she finds the truth. Her behaviors are notified to the director by Suri, and he looks at the footage of Ava in great disapproval. Vincent manages to finish copying Ava's bring and create an artificial intelligence capable of strategizing and commanding warfare. He apologizes to Ava for yelling earlier, but assures her that he only did it because he doesn't want her to get hurt. The director shows up with Suri and tests the AI by asking it for a way to end the war, to which it lays out a detailed plan of assassinating the Chinese officials. While going home, Ava learns that Vincent disagrees with Thompson about using the research for war, but has no choice as he needs the funding and technology to save his daughter. Ava shows sympathy for his cause and decides to help him cure his daughter with her own brain scans. They see Dawson's mother crying on the road again, and Ava decides to go help the woman. Suddenly, she turns around and stabs Ava in the stomach, showing that it's not Dawson's mother, but rather a Chinese assassin sent by Thompson to kill Ava before she can soil his plans. Vincent tries to help her, but gets knocked out. The assassin takes out a pistol while Thompson watches in the cameras and shoots her in the head. Vincent suspects the director for orchestrating the assassination, but dares not to question his authority for the sake of his daughter. He plans on using Ava's face and brain scans to create the super soldier named the Machine, most likely out of guilt for letting his partner get killed. He implants a synthetic brain into the skull and fills the machine with artificial blood. She falls on the ground as she becomes conscious with life. They put her in a skin suit to dye her colors, making her look more like a living human. She opens her eyes with Vincent's command and grabs onto his hand, shocking him. Vincent thanks the machine for being gentle, as she can really hurt him if she wanted to. Thompson is unhappy with this and tries to incite her anger with a multitude of tests. First using a spider, then man wearing a clown mask. The machine gets frightened by the clown and accidentally kills the man by puncturing his skull. Vincent is shocked at what she did and yells at her for committing murder. She looks at the dead man in shock and continues to apologize for what she did until she stops functioning and appears to be frozen. Vincent tries everything to fix her, but he can't seem to locate what's wrong. After he leaves the laboratory, Suri sneaks inside and tries to communicate with the machine. To her surprise, the machine begins speaking in a distorted sound, which Suri seems to understand and backs off in amazement. Vincent returns to the lab and finds the machine functioning normally as a result. He wants to know what happened, to which she replies that she was sad for killing the man, but feels much better now. She tries to smile, but ends up frowning, as there may be still a few bugs to be worked out in the programming. Vincent gets a phone call about his daughter's deteriorating health, which prompts him to leave immediately. The machine grabs his arm and wants him to stay, hurting him in the process. Vincent screams for her to let go, and she eventually does. He yells that she can't use her strength to bully others, but promises to spend more time with her after he returns. It turns out she used this opportunity and stole Vincent's wallet, trying to understand him and his daughter more. Vincent finds out that his daughter aspirated food particles into her lung, which caused a bacteria infection. The doctor will give her antibiotics in the hopes of saving her. He returns to the facility, only to see a lockdown has occurred because the machine left the laboratory. Vincent enters the room, only to see that his creation is dancing gracefully with joy. She notices his presence and embraces him for returning. The machine sees sadness in Vincent's eyes and guesses correctly that it's because of his daughter. She tries to comfort him, and her desire for closeness makes Vincent question whether if she's truly alive or just a clever imitation. She answers by questioning Vincent how he would know if his daughter is alive and not a clever imitation as well. She maintains that she's alive, just like Vincent's daughter. At night, Thompson brings the machine to one of his experiments and tries to manipulate her into killing the man responsible for Ava's death. He tells the machine that this man would kill Vincent as well, and the only way to stop him is by killing him. She hesitates and eventually breaks his arm to stop him from escaping, but still refuses to take a life. Disappointed in her choice, Thompson brings the machine with him and tries to convince her with more extreme methods. At the same time, Vincent receives news from the doctor that the antibiotics didn't work. The only option that's left is to have an operation, but the success rate is very low. Vincent takes the brain scans from his daughter, preparing for the worst-case scenario if she doesn't survive. Unfortunately, the operation did not cure her lungs, and the doctor informs Vincent that his daughter has died. He now has nothing left except for the brain scans of his daughter. He goes back to the laboratory, only to find the machine hiding under the table. He tries to comfort her, but we learn that she was forced to kill the assassin because there's a bomb implanted in her brain. Vincent expresses disapproval for the kind of test Thompson is doing to his creation, but the director strongly believes that the machine is just a robot without consciousness. He promises to stop testing her if Vincent can prove that she's sentient. Vincent goes back to the machine and eventually sees a pattern of memory integration that can only occur with consciousness. He goes to show the proof to Thompson, but this only prompted him to order Vincent to get rid of her consciousness, as a sentient machine would be too dangerous for humankind. The director blackmails Vincent with his daughter's brain scans and promises not to erase it if he goes through with the reprogramming. Vincent goes back to the machine and apologizes for what he has to do. She asks him if this is what he wants, which Vincent replies no, but he has no choice as he loves his daughter very much. He proceeds to operate on her brain and takes out the microchip responsible for her consciousness, as the machine screams in fear of losing herself. Vincent exits the operation, only to find that Thompson has betrayed him once again and plans to delete his daughter's files in order to stop him from creating another sentient machine. The director continues to test the machine and is very satisfied with her performance while showing no hesitation to kill. He plans a final test for her and orders her to shoot Vincent in the head at command. She points the gun at her creator and pulls the trigger without hesitation. Luckily, Thompson still wants Vincent to be alive and didn't put any bullets in the gun. Meanwhile, the scientist discovers something surprising about the machine's brain. Apparently, the microchip Vincent took out was a G-piece for the bomb that was implanted in her brain, not her consciousness, which frees her from Thompson's control. He orders a lockdown immediately and to shoot the machine and Vincent on sight. The soldiers with implants all begins revolting against Thompson's men, and the machine manages to save Vincent from his capture. It turns out the soldiers were able to speak after all, but their communications cannot be understood by normal humans as it transcends regular speech. She promises to save his daughter's files, while Vincent goes to destroy the AA they built in order to prevent World War III. Thompson begins turning off all the implants from the soldiers, wiping out half of the forces, before Siri intervenes and overrides the system. Vincent tries to disable the computers, but is stopped at gunpoint by one of the scientists. However, he's quickly disposed of by the soldiers who broke out from Area 6. They escape the room while the AI blows up along with the scientist. The machine fights her way towards Thompson and disposes all the enemies with ease. The soldiers try shooting at the machine with armor-piercing rounds, but fails to stop her as she kills them one by one. Thompson shoots at Suri for her betrayal, but the machine arrives just in time and saves her from being killed. She corners the director as he begs for his life. The machine grants him his wish and lobotomizes him just like what he wanted to do to her. Vincent arrives at the scene and allows her to upload his daughter's memories into her brain. The two embraces as Vincent recognizes that she is the future of mankind. They leave the facility, and Vincent proceeds to give the files regarding Dawson to the mother, finally giving her closure. Vincent plays with his daughter beside the ocean, but she wants to be with the machine instead. He looks at the machine standing before the sunrise, unsure of humanity's future, while she stares deeply into the distance. So, what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my video, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.